All right, so today we're looking at the Canon HF G20 video camera. Dylan's joining us today to have a look.
Right on, hey!
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, you guys. I appreciate it.
You know what? This camera is super awesome. We were playing with this earlier. It's got all kinds of features. It's got some really good video shoots and stuff that it does and functionality. But you know, we're not going to get into all that today.
No, today we're going to talk about what a great camera this is and how to use it.
Now what we did is we brought in our friend Dylan because Chris and I have already played a bit with this camera and found out some idiosyncrasies with it. Only because if you're a brand new user, it's a little tricky, right? So you've never looked at this camera before?
No, I haven't, so I'm interested to know some key points to get me started.
Absolutely. And Canon's made a great product here. Like we said, it's called the Canon HF G20. A beautiful camera, and right off the bat, it comes with this little lens hood, which is a wonderful accessory, and to be able to use the camera, you got to open it up. You know how you do that?
No
right
idea.
Here, yeah.
I might forget to open
Have a
that
look
up.
here. There's a little switch here, and you just sort of push it like that. If you see carefully, that opens the actual...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So you do that, and what's the next thing you're going to do?
Well, as a first-time user, how would I turn it on?
Totally.
That'd be the first
I know,
step
how do you
for
turn
me.
it on? And it's actually pretty easy once you know where the button is. And the little power button's right here. See that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kevin knows where it is.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of buttons on that
You
camera.
push the button, and as soon as you push it, and this is a little LCD screen that pops out just like that.
Perfect.
And this screen, look at this, flips all over. You can even put it on the side like this. So it gives you lots of flexibility if you want to make your movie with it, take some video,
yeah.
tape yourself even, you know.
Yep, great for
Would
self-tapes.
you typically look through this screen, or when would you look through there? Just the centerpiece here.
Good question. I think if you're doing a self-tape or something, you're obviously going to just use this screen is the best way.
Okay.
If you're outside and there's a lot of sun and whatnot, it's really hard to see this screen, so you're going to
makes
actually
sense.
look through this eyepiece.
Of course.
Yeah. And keeping it simple, once you turn the camera on, you'll notice on the top there's 3 modes right here. It's not a on-off switch, but kind of looks like that. It has, right here it has...
Automatic
auto.
mode, yeah.
It has an M, that's for manual, and cinema. Does some cool stuff, but probably you're just using this camera for the first time. Where are you going to put it?
Well, probably auto. I would assume to go auto, and that would adjust automatically for you, I'm guessing?
It sure does,
For everything,
yeah.
So,
And that's a very good point. When you guys are talking about the viewfinder, you might remember a lot of the earlier video cameras that came out, this was how you actually look through. You actually, you know, it was point and shoot, they called it, and you actually look through the lens. And this camera still has it, because a lot of video cameras that we see now, they don't come with this at all. So this is a very nice camera. It gives you the option of both. This one even, look at this. It actually pulls out a little bit, and so you can actually look through it a bit better.
Extends. That's great.
And it's got a little connector here that you can actually adjust it for your own eyesight as well. So
course,
if you wear
yeah.
glasses, you can adjust it. So it's
Yeah.
kinda, you know.
Slick. So what else would you need to know from a camera that you never used before to get it rolling?
Well, you showed me how to turn it on, you showed me where I look through, and you've also showed me the 3 modes, which auto would be the one I would start with. But how do I actually record anything? It's great that I can turn it on, but how do I record it?
I told you the best questions.
These are the best questions. And things have changed a lot, and it used to be, you might remember when your family had the video camera before, how did you record things?
Well, I think my father had a tape that he would put in the side, so
Definitely.
I don't know. Obviously,
And these cameras have gone through a number of different tapes. There were 8mm videotapes, there were mini DV videotapes, something called HDV for a while. Now, what are we recording on, Kevin?
A tiny little SD card.
Yeah, and this camera's got one in it. And so, if you look here very carefully, this little port here, you open it up, and there's 2 little slots. And each slot, if you do this, look at that. You recognize that?
So 32 gigabytes.
This is a 32 gigabyte. And depending on, this camera records in a couple different recording modes. The mode that we have it on right now, a 32 gigabyte card, you can get a good 4 hours footage out of
It'll
it.
last a long time. Yeah.
Really, really good high quality picture as well. You can put it on other recording things. I think you can do up to 12 hours or something on a lower recording, but a nice, decent one. And if you want the best recording quality on this, I think it'll do 2 hours on.
What about if I didn't have a card, or it was full? What would I do then?
Uh-oh.
Is there a way to store the,
You forgot it
the
at
video?
home. What's it going to do?
Yeah, it's gone. What do I do?
Well, luckily these cards are readily available.
Yep.
And they're very inexpensive now. They come way down in price. But what else can you do with this particular camera, Kevin?
Oh, yeah. If you did leave that card home and you got down to where you borrowed this camera at the office or from a friend, what you can do is actually record right on the little hard drive in here. It has a 32 gig
32.
memory built in, so you don't actually need the card.
Wow.
Even though you can put 2 cards in, it'll actually, if there's nothing, it'll let you know that there's no card in there, and you can record right on the camera.
I was going to say, that's convenient because everyone, might not have one of these cards right at the start, or it could be full. So it's good that there's always a backup for it.
For sure. It's very unique because a lot of cameras, most of the cameras that you'll find on the market now to buy, only have 1 slot or 2 slots to put the little SD card in, but they don't include any built-in memory. And there were some video cameras for a while that actually had a little hard drive inside that you recorded on. This is the built-in memory inside here, the 32 gigabytes, is very similar to this.
Okay.
So it's like a solid state drive. So it's fast, it's quick, there's no hard drive spinning around, it's very quiet, and it works perfectly. And there's just a little menu setting that you have to set if you want to switch it to use the built-in internal memory,
Okay.
or if you want to use this in either camera slot A or B that we have here on the camera.
Actually, one of the best cameras, if you're going to have a camera where you have it in an office, you're loaning it out to folks,
Yeah.
or whether it's a family camera that you're borrowing around, you can put your own SD card in, take it out, and then leave the camera back in the office or with your friends. Yeah. So now you just have to
Bring your own
card
SD.
in there, right?
Yeah,
If you're sharing it, bring your own SD card.
And have a look. You could probably figure it out, Dylan. How once you get it on, how you'd start to actually record.
Yeah, so it looks clear quality, and you said that I can record from pressing the button there.
That's it. Yeah. No, you figured that. We didn't show you that, but it's pretty intuitive, right?
Oh, well, I was looking
Yeah.
right here where it said start and stop, so I assumed that's
Yep.
the way I was
You
starting.
found it exactly.
So-
If you turn it around, we'll be able to
around,
show
okay, yeah.
everybody else. But yeah.
You'll actually see that also on that button probably has a little red. Most of the record buttons have a little red insert in them, so you know for sure.
I was going to say, is that the red flashing light there? Would that be the way I'd know?
Right on, exactly. So if you see that flashing, and also look on the LED screen, I think you'll see some
there's a
indication,
little red dot
there. Oh, of
right
course.
there. So that's important. You don't want to do a nice long shoot of something, or you're doing your self-tape and realize, oh, that was the best. And then when you punch it once again, the red light goes off, and you see it's a green
Or pause, yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So what about the battery life? Obviously, it could die and I could run into trouble, so what would I do in that case?
Oh, absolutely. If you, as Kevin was saying earlier, if you're in a setting where you're actually sharing the camera, like at an office or something, you never know what you're walking into. The camera, the battery is usually what? No power at all. You come in, you say, oh, who left this? Who used this last? We have the regular power adapter.
Yeah,
okay.
This one just plugs in 110 in the wall, and this end here, a lot of ports. Have a look around
I was
and
just
see
going
if
to
you can find
say,
it.
where would I actually plug that in?
We should show folks
And that's the
that.
thing with the camera. It's very easy once you've got it all figured out, you know where things are, but it takes a little bit sometimes just to familiarize yourself with it initially. And the power adapter port is one of the trickier ports to find. And where it is, just here at the very bottom, I think we can see here on the camera, there we go. If you open this up, there's a little port there, and you see a little hole there?
right in there, yeah.
And that's where it goes. So,
This is just
just want to give it a try? I'll give you the adapter.
Yeah. And that's the thing about this camera. It mentioned it's sleek.
Where
It
is it?
looks
Yeah.
it looks great. It's got great angles,
See it?
but it also has a whole bunch of little tiny hiding spots on the camera.
It
And that's-
definitely does.
And that's what we want to point out to you, so you know where to find them.
Easy enough, I would say.
Easy enough. Once you know where it is, you're not going to forget.
And I also forgot to mention, after I actually record something, how do I get it off the camera to, my computer
Yeah.
or anything from that? What else do I do?
This little SD card,
Yeah.
this will come out,
Yeah.
and you could use your computer have an SD card slot on it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So,
If you just pop that in, you'll be able to use your favorite editing program, and
Yeah. And if it doesn't, you can buy little readers that go to USB for sure. Yeah.
okay, perfect.
But what if you you're asking because what if you forgot it and it's on the camera because you don't have a card?
Because
Yeah.
if you don't have a card, like you said, it has
Yeah.
the storage already on there. How do I get it, in that case, to my computer?
Another one of those sneaky little gadgets that Chris is going to show you. Let's get this out of
I
your
am.
way.
And we've had a little bit of difficulty with this particular camera with people not knowing how to actually plug that in.
Yeah.
And the reason is, there's a little port here that is often left open, and that actually has a connector that looks a little bit like
Yeah.
the USB
Yeah,
connector.
I would have thought that was it.
And that's not where the
Tell you the
connector
truth.
is, but that is one little connector that we have here for another sort of composite cable.
Sure
that we
looks
have.
like it.
Oh, okay.
You have to have really good eyes to see. I think it says AV out or something there. You can see it. You're young. You got good eyes.
Yeah, I know.
Right? But I watched on YouTube people trying to jam the USB connector in. That's not good.
It's an expensive camera. You don't want to damage the connector by trying
Absolutely
to force
not.
and keep
So
trying to.
show them where it's hidden there, Chris.
And so Canon's done something very nice here, where as you've seen just how we pulled out this little power adapter port, they're very nicely made so dust and dirt's not going to get inside. You can store it properly and everything. Here's another port here, and it's hidden just below,
Oh, underneath the...
just underneath the, where you would actually put your hand in if you were going to be doing some handheld filming. Just underneath there. And there's some other stuff we're looking for on this camera too that's actually in here too. We open that up.
Oh,
Am I seeing this? There we go. And there's an HDMI port in there, and that's where the USB connection is.
perfect.
Now,
Perfect. That's good to know. I might actually forget about that. I might try to be one of those ones that jam it in the other side. So how am I going to remember that that's there?
you know what? We anticipated that because it is underneath the handle. It is under that little door. And we went ahead and made
We like making stickers.
stickers. We made a nice little sticker.
okay.
Look at that, USB out, and we're going to put that right on the bottom of the camera underneath that port, and then you'll always know, don't worry about it, Dylan, when you borrow this camera, you'll know exactly where to plug in this little cable.
That's exactly
in the
what I
case.
needed, because
Awesome.
people are probably going to continue to do that until they actually make their own label on it, to tell you the truth, because it looks exactly the same.
It does, very, very similar.
We invented this.
Yeah.
So it's a Canon HF G20.
Yep.
Wonderful camera, comes with 32 gigabytes of built-in memory.
Yeah.
Two
Great.
slots to actually put a little SD card in that you bring yourself.
Awesome video, crystal clear.
Nice
great
long
lens on
battery
this.
life when you would plug it in, charge it up.
What do you think? You think you'd run it?
I think it's great. It would be perfect to do my self-tapes with.
Cool.
Especially that you can
Very
show me
nice.
where to plug it in, and I
Yeah.
won't have to worry about the battery dying.
Awesome. Let's go shoot
make
something.
a movie! All right.
Hey, you can run it though, right?
You can be the camera guy. Look at
I know
that.
how to do that.
Okay.
Well, I remember I can open it
So
up,
you turn it on.
turn it on, and make sure it's on, so the green light's on, and then the record, we press the start button there, and I know it's recording because it's flashing red
Right.
and the red on the screen.
Right, how do we look?
You guys look great.
Keep smiling, Kevin.
Yeah, keep smiling.
We don't even know what camera to look at.
Oh, is that actually rolling?
Yeah, it is
Oh,
rolling.
maybe-
You're
I know
hired.
how to do it, man.